we have now our second season of the Villa rebuild. One cheeky little spoiler I've got to add for you. I haven't been sacked at all this year. So that's a big old win and an improvement on the Newcastle one. Unless you haven't seen that, ignore what I just said. Go back and watch it. If you haven't seen the first part of the Villa one, I'm going to put a link up there now. Go over and watch that before you do this one. You can see what we did, signings we made first season. And also, talking about things that have happened. Doleboy, we are, God, I think at the point of recording, I think I'm about 7 episodes in. We have found our first team, and we are halfway through our second season. Go over there, have a little watch. We're going from literally nothing, no badges, no previous experience, to taking Villa, funnily enough, to Champions League winners. Probably some teams before, maybe some teams after. And we'll see what comes from that. So if you haven't already watched it, then please go over there and have a little butchers. And it would support my channel. And what else you can do to support the channel, on this video, if you do enjoy it, like and subscribe. And give the bell a little tickle, and it will show you as soon as the videos are uploaded. But I suppose what I should do is go into the game, because we are at the end of August, well, the 1st of September, and I'll show you what signings we've made and where we are after 7 games. There's a few clues on screen as to where we are and some signings that we've made. We're currently 15th, so we've only picked up 7 points from our first 7. What we're going to do is pop into the transfers, and we'll have a little look at who we've brought in. Technically, at the end of last season, we sold a player, we signed a player. So Danny Ings has left us to go over to Tottenham for £56 million, and then we spent 27 of that to bring in Karim Adeyemi. So it leaves us 29 million up, and I think, to be honest, a better striker. Maybe not immediately, but definitely over the next few seasons. So he's came in, he's already our top scorer at the moment with 6 goals, and he looks pretty goddamn handy. So I'm excited to see what comes from him. He's a wonder kid. He's got acceleration, pace, dribbling. His finishing's a little bit lacklustre, but I think everything else makes up for that. And he's worth a small fortune. His wages are a bit brutal, but we'll just ignore that. Also, we brought in a few free transfers, and we've let go Trezeguet. So he's gone over to Spartak for 5.75 million. You can see Julian Alvarez down there, but I realise my face is covering. He's only gone out on loan to Ajax to get a little bit more game time, and then he'll probably line in alongside with Adeyemi as the strikers probably next season. We have Gilbert, Lindley and Vasilev, who we've all released. We've bought in Kilian Ludwig from Salzburg. I thought he was going to be better than this, to be honest, but decent backup for right back and quite aggressive fullback as well, which I like the look of. And along with him, we've also been able to bring in Isco. So a midfield orchestrator, 30 years of age, is worth probably 40 million. And I mean, it's Isco. Look at him. He's brought in as another cover for that kind of playmaker sort of role. That leaves our team as such. So if we go onto here, go into position overview. Left backs are a little bit ropey for us. Right backs we're comfortable. Centre backs we'll probably do with 1 or 2 more. Centre mids we're kind of drowning in them. Wingers as well, we've got quite a lot of cover there. Likewise with attacking mids and strikers. So we've got 2 great strikers now in Adeyemi and Watkins. 3 great left wingers as Bailey, Watkins and Adeyemi. 4 great right wingers, Bailey, Adeyemi, Watkins and Buendia. And then 1 great centre mid in Douglas Luiz, because he's a bit of a tank. Consa's still knocking about, which I'm happy about. He's great right back and centre back apparently. And obviously our great goalkeeper is going to be Martinez, because he's a little bit of a beast. Formationally, we've just been playing the 4-4-2 still. We're going in with that. Games-wise, we've played 7. We beat QPR in the second game of the season, because I missed the Chelsea one, which was a 4-2 loss. Adeyemi picking up 2. Beat QPR 3-0. Lost at Leicester 2-0. That was a bit annoying. Scraped to win past Cheltenham with another 2 goals from Adeyemi. A 1-1 draw with Brighton. Losses against Norwich and Liverpool. And then most recently a 2-0 win against Brentford. So we've got a lot of work to do. I hadn't looked through who's in this division. Somehow, Luton have made their way back into the Premier League. Along with that, there was QPR, and who else came up? If we go to season review, Bournemouth. Okay, that's not too bad. We've predicted 11th, kind of from what the team that we have, with Wolves, Leicester, and Wolves, Leeds, and Leicester all ahead of us, and then the old top 6. So I've ignored Everton. To be fair, it's only Everton. So we're expecting mid-table. I want to kind of push us on a little bit further. I can't help but notice that while I've been talking about this, literally the Dream 11 is Man U, Man City, and Liverpool. Not another team gets a sniff. That's incredibly frustrating. I don't think we've got a chance of getting a player in there, to be fair. So our best player is Adeyemi, and our hot prospect is Carney Chukwuemeka. He's a bit good. I like him. We're going to jump through now to the end of January, see what updates I've made to the team transfer-wise, and then see where we are in the league. And I know we haven't been sacked, so that's a win. We have made one big signing, and we brought in a few wonder kids. I'm not sure they're even listed as wonder kids, actually. Let's have a look at those first. So we've got Andres Molina, who came in for 275k. Decent fullback. Popped up in the, what's it called? Deadline day kind of scenario. And I thought he looked all right. Nice little bit of potential under his belt. Bring him in, $250,000, see what happens. Likewise with Ander Perez, he's a striker. He isn't listed as a wonder kid either, but he came in for, $1 million. Again, stats look pretty decent, to be fair. And he's only young, so we'll see what happens from that. He's worth $1 million, and now apparently he's between 6 and 9 for us, so we should be able to make some money out of him, even if they don't make it into the first team. The way we've been performing, it's not been perfect. You'll see that quite shortly. We have picked up from where we were at the previous save point, but I do know that we needed another centre-back to play alongside Konsa, who's, really good. So we've had a look at Tommy St. Yago, but before we look at him, I'll let you know who's gone. So we sold Seb Revan for 165, Brad Young for 100k, managed to get out Wesley for $3.5 million. He went to Zenit. I'm not sure if we'd have played a game for him yet. We signed him for 22, sold him for 3.5, so that's not ideal. And I've loaned out Louis Barry as well over to Wickham. So they're paying me 11k for that privilege. So having a look at Tommy St. Yago, don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name properly. He looks pretty handy. He had the likes of Juventus, PSG, and Real Madrid, I think, were interested when we offered his contract. So he said he'd prefer to go to them. I feel that they didn't offer deals for him. But he came to us, so that's the main thing. He's also come in with another disgusting wage. But he looks pretty handy. A ball-to-ball? That's not a position. Ball-playing defender. But we're just going to play him as a centre-back probably, because we just don't want him faffing about. Because it annoys me. He's a good player for the Premier League. He's got a little bit of potential under his belt as well. So if I move myself, you'll be able to see it. So between him and Konsa, we've got two pretty strong centre-backs there, which is great. But looking at the league games, since you were last with us, we've had... I'm not going to run through these one by one, but I'm just going to pick out any standout games. Luton, we managed to beat them 2-1, which is a bit annoying. 3-0 loss against Man U. A win against Leeds, who we know were in the Champions League, because they finished 4th last season. If you haven't seen it, again, jump back, watch the other one. Disgusting. You're wondering where Newcastle are as well if you haven't seen the first episode. Yeah, relegated, gone. Along with Burnley and Watford. So they're all there. Surprisingly, Newcastle are top of the league. So in the Championship, they have spent £49 million and they've brought in 101. So they've got all this money, but because they signed players and then decided to get themselves relegated, they've then lost a lot of their players. So it would be quite funny if they can no longer improve. They've brought in Josh Brownhill, Alexis McAllister, who I think is actually a decent signing. Iwobi, I think less said about that, the better. I don't even know who Varazdat Horoyan is. Armenian, 30-year-old. I thought he might have been young with some potential, but no. Yeah, I'm not particularly impressed with any of their signings, to be honest. And their sales, they've lost Paulista, Milenkovic, Saint-Maximin, and Maxi Gomez. Not great for him, is it? Back to ours, because I got distracted. As I say, feel free to have a look through. We beat Arsenal. That's nice. Not a fan of Arsenal. They annoy me. But just before the January window, we had a little run of some tricky games. Tottenham, we lost 3-1. Chelsea, we lost 3-1. 0-0 against Brighton and a 1-1 against Norwich. With a 95th minute equaliser. Annoying. So that is how January ended up. We are in the league at the moment in 10th place, so we're only 6 points away from the European positions. So now what I'm going to do is scoot towards the end of the season. Hopefully, we've managed to break into those European spots. And as you can see, we didn't move at all. We finished in 10th. We've seen Southampton, Luton and QPR get relegated. I'll have a little look where we finished in regards to cups, because I think we were still in the FA Cup at that point. So we've beat Liverpool. We then lost to West Ham in the 5th round. And we'll see where that finished up. We might as well have a little butchers. West Ham in turn then lost 5-1 in the final. So we finished 10th. The last, God, look at that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, we picked up 1 point from a possible 18. I know it was a bit of a tricky run-in, especially the last 3 games of the season. But how costly is that for us? So we're 7 points short of Europe. So I think a little bit more of a push towards the end of the next transfer window. I think I can see us doing it, we're doing pretty good. Having a look at the top scorers, we've got Adeyemi at the moment, who's 13th with 13, but he's only 21, so he'll pick up next season as well. So we've got a young team that should improve further. We'll try and bring in some more signings. We'll let go some players that we signed that hardly got any game time for us. Looking at that, I think definitely a new left back is in requirement. Goalkeepers we're fine, right backs we're fine. Maybe we do need a new right back actually, because both of our best centre backs are our best right backs, and obviously we don't want Konsa and Santiago paying out there. So new fullbacks I think is required. We've got Konsa, Zakaria, and Douglas Luiz as the holding mids, and then the same 3 for our centre mids. So we need another centre mid, maybe a really good playmaker, because Zakaria, Luiz, and Konsa, if they played in centre mid, they're not going to be playmakers. So we need playmaker, fullbacks, both sides. And I think attack-wise, we're fine. We've got Watkins, Bailey, Alvarez, Adeyemi. The same 4 on this side, except for Alvarez, we've got Buendia. And then up front, we've got Adeyemi, Watkins, Bailey, Alvarez. So maybe we can let go some of the wingers and strikers who are just off that, such as Bertrand Traore. I do like Bertrand Traore. I think he's brilliant. Fun to watch. But maybe he's not at the calibre of our team anymore. We've signed a fella called Namdi Collins from Dortmund. Completely forgot what Dortmund were called for some reason. On a free, so he's going to be joining us. We'll see if this ability actually becomes that when we have him with us. But he looks decent anyway, and he's came in on a free, so hopefully we'll do a good job for us there. But what we do have is a nice little building block for our next season. This one's been okay. It's a little bit more of kind of just a setting foot, bringing in a few more stronger players, letting our ones that are in the team already kind of mature. And they'll do so again next season. We'll see what comes from that. Next episode. Probably going to try and get it up for next weekend again. I think it's going to be a weekendly thing, this one. But we'll see as and when I can get these ones out. But I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I hope you'll be back for the next episode. If you haven't enjoyed, do me the favour of liking and subscribing as I mentioned earlier. Click on the screen for some of the items for you. And thank you very much for your time.